Greetings, moles, and welcome to WizWorld Live. You made it through another week. You're here. We're all here. I'm so happy to see you. Chat's already popping off. Hunter, Epic Twitch Gaming, love the new username. Photomom's here. Frank is here. Lithodora's here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Lithodora has one emote from all of the wizard streamers on Twitch. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
And that's
incredibly impressive.
I feel like we should all do one giant Wizard Council stream at some point where just every wizard streamer, all 6 of us,
we'll do
a big collab.
Yeah.
This is, of course, Wizarding World Live, the only talk show by wizards for mortals on this earth. I'm your host, as always, the immortal wizard, Amoenus Franco. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to be back doing the show. I've got Summersbane back with me, the evilest man I know, a horrible necromancer. He hates summer, so he's thriving right now, but he's no monster. He's my very best friend. Chat, please drop a bunch of emotes for Summersbane. How are you, Summersbane?
I'm doing great. You know, I took a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Went out to D.C., made sure that the infrastructure bill passed.
Oh,
we're doing much better.
With the big tax cut for the wealthy in it?
Yeah, exactly. We needed to make sure that I had to ensure that my finances would last for multiple lifetimes.
Oh,
so,
right, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like, it's a simple thing. It's just, you got to make sure that you're looking out for the, number one, that's the rich, the 1%.
Yeah. You're the sort of negative 1%, really, since you're undead, right?
Right, and technically I'm multiple people. Because I register as multiple series of families.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course. You think anyone in the 1% is doing anything legal?
Oh, no. I was just wondering if currently you saw yourself as multiple people.
Oh, no.
Because
I currently am one person.
Well, because if I recall correctly, I believe the body you're in right now is still a sort of hamburger mishmash of other necromancers that you defeated, right?
That's correct,
right.
Yes. On my way out of hell, I stole the physical forms of several necromancers, ground them into fine paste, and then formed them into what this looks like right here.
80 shows of canon.
Oh, my God.
Why won't a network buy this? You could do 80 movies.
It's so easy.
The
easy. IP is right there.
We just generate IP. We EP freely all the time. Kerosene, Little Hot, good to see you. We have Cynthia back on the show in a bit. That's very exciting. And we also get to interview tonight. You know, I'm always excited when we get a cool mortal on the show. We've got the one, the only Skinner on the show. We're going to show off some of his art, talk about his new comic books, talk about all the cool stuff he makes. It's very exciting. I have to say, it is the only good thing to come out of sponsoring a post on Instagram.
We did it, everybody.
We finally got one really awesome thing out of that happening. Too bad you didn't stop by Kenosha. I think Photomom wants to maybe hire you for a little job, sounds like. Does he vote more than once? That's a good question. Summersbane, do you vote more than once?
I do not, because technically I'm not a U.S. citizen. But that doesn't mean that I don't have access to your politicians. Let me just be very clear on that.
Yeah, I mean, corporations aren't citizens, and they have the most access. So
right.
It's fine.
Oh, and I've incorporated a long time ago. And I have a family that is also holding it in trust, which is all made up of my entire just past selves and lives and fake children. So I can write off my travel.
Now that's smart. You know, and Highlander, excellent movie, very fun, but that guy was pretty bad at being immortal. Yeah,
it's not that difficult.
No.
It takes really just call a guy in finance for like 5 minutes. Those guys will do anything.
Well, especially if you're alive before there's a rigorous legal system in place, it's really easy to just set yourself up with infinite contracts that go forever. He really dropped the ball.
Oh my God, yeah. It's just
he had fun shooting Nazis, which yes, of course, that's fun. For the fictional character to do. We don't endorse violence and cannot on this platform, but he didn't set himself up for success. It's a big mistake. Being immortal isn't hard. Well, everyone's immortal until they're not, technically. It was worth a shot.
Fair enough.
But Summersbane, what else did you do? You didn't just go to DC and work on your vacation, I hope.
No. I took some time. I said hi to a fellow necromancer who was out there.
Oh, yeah, who's that?
Oh, yeah. His name is Jay the Black.
Jay's out there?
Yeah, Jay's out there, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. he doesn't. He has.
I thought he was destroyed.
Well, I thought so too.
Yeah.
Fun fact: he's working for the Pentagon right now.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay the Black Budget is his full name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Master of the Black Sites. Yeah.
Master of the Black Sites. Torture of the house.
Exactly.
Everybody loves the landlord. Everybody's bosom CIA agent. That is a fun fact. I agree with Lithadora. Well, that's nice that he wasn't destroyed. What'd you guys do, or can you not say?
No. I mean, we were both very strictly like we both go into work, and when we were done, we hung out. So we went to we made a brisket. That was nice.
You made a brisket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He had a smoker. He drives a BMW.
Yeah. Was it real brisket or was it brisket?
No. It was brisket. He had a Costco membership. Again,
okay.
It's very easy to simply just you just exist. You don't have to rock the boat. You don't have to eat humans.
That's the key.
You get to.
Don't rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay immortal. And I want to thank Rowdy Burns for re-upping his sub 13-month streak. From Rowdy Burns. And Frank just gifted a tier 1 sub to Crinkly Fig. Thank you very much. And we're close to a hype trade. If we get it, it actually bumps us up in the algorithm. How do I gift a sub from here? I can't do it from this interface. Lithadora, thank you, Lithadora. I owe you 100 bits and a hype train. Choo choo, we're on the hype train.
There we go, baby.
Should now bump us up on the front page. More random people wondering what on earth they're watching. That's all. Twitch.
No longer are we gonna just have it where like that. All the other wizard streamers taking our thunder. We're number one wizard stream.
We're number one now, baby, because there's a distant rumbling and a faint hoot hoot of a horn, and you think a train is coming, but there are no tracks here. There's no tracks. But then you feel energized. You feel over-energized. You begin dancing so much you cannot help it. Your feet are tapping, your hands are in the air, and you don't care. And then a ghastly train passes through. You've been taken up into the hype train.
That's right.
You fall down and collapse from your ecstasy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that Coors didn't buy that commercial from you, man.
I can't believe it either. It was only going to cost $85 million.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, well... There you got the silver bullet. And that's
the silver bullet. Ooh,
wow, it's cold.
Ooh, wow, your beer's cold because it doesn't taste good otherwise. Wow.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Enough about our failed Coors endeavors. I think we're going to take a quick photo mom gifting another sub to Div the Div. I love it. Thank you. I think we're now at Oh my goodness. Your bodies rise up from the floor. Your dancing's not yet complete. And you're all now on the train, heading from town to town, cursing others, spreading the horrible word of the show WizWorld Live. And you see people weep and gnash their teeth because they know what's coming. They know the level 2 hype train is coming through. Choo choo. Choo choo. They can't chew anymore because their teeth are dust from
Gnashing
their fear and horror of excitement and hype. Lithadora paying forward a gift sub? Amazing. Even more hype is happening. A furious orgy of hype. The heavens themselves shake.
They are parting.
Bruce Leroy 2012. Choo choo. Their first time chat. Amazing! They're compelled to choo-choo. The hype train spreads. No longer merely an idea. No longer a meme. It's not self-replicating. It's self-destructing. The entire world consumed in a conflagration of hype. And we ascend to the spirit plane. Earth is destroyed, but the memory of Earth remains. Paid forward in this spectral train, going out to the heavens and hills, full of chattering bones, all screaming for a talk show that can no longer exist, for everyone who would watch it or be on it has been consumed by the hype train. Choo, choo.
I need to get to level 3 just so I could hear a longer version.
I don't know what would even happen at level 3.
I don't know.
We already did Dragon Ball. We did Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball GT's is going to be a lot of noise.
Yeah, well, hey, eventually we'll get to Dragon Ball Super, and then it'll kind of jump the shark and then be okay.
Comes back around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll have a couple weird episodes where I'm just in a salmon, polo for no reason.
Frankarot. Thank you for more hyping. Bruce Leroy gifting a sub, gifting it to Legio Necrus now. It's all passing along. This hype is unstoppable.
It's over 9,000.
It's a what 9,000? We should, we've never had anyone from Dragon Ball Z on the show. I'm just now realizing.
I'm shocked. Just given the sheer amount of villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge. All of it would make sense.
Whew. I think our souls have at least restored to a stable state where we can take a commercial break and come back with, for the first time in a long time, a full-on monologue from Cynthia Weatherwax coming up right after these commercial messages. Thank you all very much for pumping up the train, pumping up the show, pumping up each other. We love it. That's the warmth. That's the warmth we need in the world right now. We'll be right back after these beautiful commercial messages. Kebab. It's meat you can eat. Yum. The automobile, one of man's greatest innovations. Fun to drive and practical too. Get you further faster without the use of horses. And it kills about 37,000 people every year. Truckers are the 7th most dangerous occupation. But the automobile is still pretty dang neat. It's all worth it, right? Right? 37,000 people dead? It's fine. The automobile! Vroom vroom, America! Look at these monkeys. They're so dumb. I want to eat bugs out of your back. Oh, they're baboons? Okay. Oh, these baboons seem pretty dumb. I want to eat. Oh. Well, that's a good point. I guess I better go think about that. That cornfield ad, pretty compelling.
Yeah. This is in a dark way.
Oh, yeah. Plus, it's also untrue because they do look for them there. After the events of Casino.
Yes. We all know that Casino sparked a series of long land reforms and farming reforms.
Yeah.
And then literally did you know, to this day, there are iron plates underneath the floors of everyone's car. Everyone must have those now. It's a requirement.
And now everyone
knows.
Deaths. Even the people in the factory know there's a plate underneath the car. When's the last time there was a big major mafia hullabaloo?
In the U.S.?
Yeah.
It's pretty localized. You'll get it certain mob stuff will happen in certain cities. But for the most part, it's they're smaller stings. A lot of it has been hit with the PPP loans. There's been a little bit of fraud in some of the smaller mob.
Really?
So yeah.
So the mob and the UCB are committing the equal crime this time around?
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. A Ghost Bro says, it's me. I assume a Ghost Bro means the cornfield killer, but I'm not sure. Children of the Corn. Yes, ho-ho. Jimmy Hoffa's search was renewed. That's funny.
Wait, what?
Either find him or don't. I just give up at a certain point. Luthadora says there was Mafia Wars. That was pretty big on Facebook a few years ago. That's true. It was.
No, that's true. Mm-hmm.
I hate when UCB beefs with the mob. Yeah, well.
Well, there's blood in the streets.
Blood in the streets.
When UCB went up against the Camorra in 1987, just in order to get that's how UCB got so big in New York, is they actually won the rights to cocaine in Lower Manhattan.
Yeah, there was a very exciting montage set to Rolling Stones music where Amy Poehler and Matt Besser were just knocking off Italian gangsters one by one.
Yeah, exactly. And of course,
it's just a
now,
shadow
of course,
away. It's just a shadow away. It's Amy Poehler standing with a cigarette, a Spaceworks cigarette in her mouth, over the body of a stacked bodies of really fat.
It's almost like
guys.
Spacework guns, but just real death.
Yeah, that's how they got away with it.
Yeah.
There was never a gun to find.
And they chop up the bodies in her bottle shop out in fucking Brooklyn.
her wine store, which is still open. UCB dead. Wine store still going strong.
Still going strong. I mean, look, if there's anything I needed more in this pandemic, it's more wine.
More wine.
Wine. Yes.
And you know what else we need? More tightly written monologue jokes. Our friend, the immortal witch, Cynthia Weatherwax. Everyone, please, welcome back. Returning to her monologue throne for the first time in a long time, it's Cynthia Weatherwax.
What's up?
Yay! Wait, hold on. Get ready for the whole thing, remember?
Hey, things are going all right.
Cynthia, how are you?
What's up, guys?
So nice to see you.
Oh my gosh. It's good to be back.
ever.
Sorry I wasn't here last week.
No, that's okay.
It's all good. I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, Summersbane was gone.
Oh, okay.
He was on vacation. He helped pass the bad version of the Build Back Better Act and ate brisket.
Mm-hmm. Salt and pepper. That's okay. I don't have to do much more.
Well, thanks so much. I wish I was on vacation. I was hosting my dad.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that your father was still alive. Yeah.
No, he's not. I summoned his spirit, by choice for 10 days. And it was great. Most of my life, my dad was a ghost.
Sure.
And just around, just completely erratic behavior, opening and closing drawers. And it's like, Dad, talk about it, stop being passive aggressive.
It's a hard time, Came from a generation where it's hard to open up,
Yeah, but then since he passed on to the next plane, he's been so chill, much happier.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, I recommend, I don't know, an exorcism.
Well, we did have that medium on 2 weeks ago, so
yeah, we did.
You can always recommend that in the LA area.
That was a cool interview.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have another cool mortal on tonight. A great track record of cool mortals, but Cynthia, right now it's all about you. What do we got going on in the world of mortal events?
Oh, these mortals. Doctors report that one man's severe migraines were completely eliminated after he went on a plant-based diet. Like suddenly cutting out meat and his migraines going away, it really makes you wonder, how rare did he like his steaks? Screaming cows.
He was getting headaches from the screams of the animals.
Yeah.
The slaughterhouse, my God.
Life in the slaughterhouse.
Thanks for explaining it.
The rabbits.
Oh, no.
Rabbits.
At first, I just thought you meant he was getting disease from the meat. But then I realized it was way funnier. The animals screaming. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm writing a children's book about it.
Oh, yeah. What's it called?
Oh.
It's called The Man Who Eats Screaming Cows.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Kids' books have to have simple names. You gotta be clear what's on the inside.
You gotta know what they're getting into right at the top.
Yeah. In Rhode Island, a man fulfilled his dream of becoming a physicist at age 89.
Wow.
Yeah, which means he entered the program really late in his life, at age 40.
Nice,
Holy crap! I'm a freaking math guy now, Flo. It's crazy. I'm 89. He's from Rhode Island. I thought, okay.
I mean,
keep working on it.
Well, it sounds exactly like
we'll workshop it later, all right? It's not a bad idea. I think it just needs to be approached differently.
All right. Whatever.
You guys, I have some really sad news.
Oh, what's going on?
This was upsetting. CVS is going to close 900 of its stores over the next 3 years.
No.
Oh.
Right? But don't worry, employees of the stores closing will either be transferred to a nearby store or transported back to their alternate dimension.
Well, that's nice. You know,
that is nice.
They can go back home.
Yeah.
Home to the plane where there is no CVS.
I'm free. I'm going home. He's like disappeared.
Yeah. He just all that's left is his little CVS misspelled name tag on the ground.
Yeah.
It is funny that they're still gonna have enough stores to be able to transfer you.
Yeah. Yeah, they have thousands of stores. I think insane. They have like 10,000 stores.
You know, I recall spending some time in San Francisco, and you could not walk more than a block without hitting a CVS or a Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Cynthia? Sorry.
No. In Pennsylvania, frozen vials marked smallpox were found in a lab freezer.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. It's just messed up because if the lab worker wanted to clean up hazardous material from a fridge, they would have gone home and cleaned their own fridge. Have you ever cleaned your fridge?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
It took 10 long years. Dedicated effort.
Sorry, but
hours and hours I waged war in the freezer. It would not defrost, for there was old ice cream in there that had become all ice, no cream. I shrunk myself down, scaled it like a mountain, and at the top I found a tiny ice king. But he had been turned into mold and fungus, and he was rotting throughout the entire machine. I nearly died. Perhaps I did. What was your next one?
But the vial of smallpox was actually it actually belonged to history's first girl boss. Who froze it because she was too busy in her career to scab up, you know?
So I'll solve this later.
I'll get poxed later. I'm too young now.
And that lady's name,
lastly,
Margaret Thatcher.
And lastly, the first woman ever graduated from the U.S. Army sniper course. Crazy. Yeah, it was the first time ever in the Army as a woman that she was told to stop smiling.
Damn.
Well,
and that's the news.
That's the news. Yeah. Thank you, and a big yes, queen, to that super murderer we've created. Amazing job.
Amazing.
Did you hear that? Yas, queen. What?
Yas, queen. Oh. That's all part. That's why they put out a press release so that if any terrorists ironically say "Yas, queen," she can hear it and spot them. Just go right for them.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot.
There we go.
It's always worth a shot.
CVS, more like all I CVS. Am I right? You are right, Rabbit Man.
Mm-hmm.
Once in a decade, the physics clean. Yeah, it's all in the chemistry about the physics guy. That's fun. Yas, Murder Queen. Hate a tiny rotten king. Hard to clean. Absolutely hard to clean.
Yeah.
Cynthia, wonderful monologue. A first monologue back. One winner.
Oh, I'm rusty.
Another. No, I don't think so.
Nah.
And a rusty blade still kills.
Yes.
Don't I know it?
That's true. That's the first rule of comedy.
Yes, comedy is like a rusty dagger. You will kill your audience slowly with tetanus. Let me get this picture of Lindy England off the screen. I hate that face. Cynthia, what do you got coming up? What are you up to? Anything to plug?
I have some things in December, but I'll be back before then.
Okay, you don't want to mention it now? It seemed pretty cool.
My mortar Rodrigo. My mortar, whatever. I will be opening for a super talented musician on December 11th. His name is Emmett James, and it's a very limited show. So follow Carol's Junior Comedy on Instagram to find tickets. And then I'm also doing a show on December 13th, which I have no info for.
Ooh. Oh, delightful mystery.
I realized as I started plugging.
A Monday show.
That makes sense.
Ooh.
It's
called Christmas. Yes, Christmas is a very special show. Right? That's cool. How did you do you know the musician from some other thing? And you just like, hey, you want to come up? Oh, that's awesome.
No.
Not awesome.
We used to work next door to each other.
Oh.
He was my barista for a long time.
I see.
And then we became friends.
Oh. The old barista to friendship pipeline.
Well, I'm not a normal person. I'm also working food service.
Right, yeah, no.
So
Hey, you mentioned last time that you also now manage a restaurant.
Oh my God, yeah. Hexed. I'm hexed. I've been hexed.
Yeah, I think you have been hexed.
And if I figure out But anyway, I won't take up too much of your time. Okay. I know we have a very important guest.
We do.
I'm rambling. I kind of forgot that I was streaming on a show and not just talking to my friends.
All good.
I feel like that's a good sign. That's the right kind of vibe. I want to.
With my friends.
Well, Cynthia, it is always good to see you. And on that note,
so before I say anything too personal,
okay.
No.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say on that note of joy and friendship and laughter, I'm gonna send you back into the void. I'm gonna take one more ad break, and then we'll be back with Skinner. Very exciting. See you all on the other side of these ads. Okay. Let's stick. Ow. Whew. Okay, come on. Oh boy. Maybe if I used a bigger spoon. No. Do you have any ice? Any ice for the soup?
Love. Brought to you by the Shell Corporation.
Lace your heart with mine. Take me through the night. Down, down, down by the river. Hey there, viewers. It's me, the river, the spirit of the river. It's been a while since some of you have ever talked to me. Maybe some of you have never talked to me. Maybe you can't find me because I've been paved over by a highway, or they put a terrible subdivision of awful houses with bad stucco over the top of me, but I'm still here. And I know it's troubled times up there. Has been. Again, I've been paved over. That's trouble for me and long-term trouble for you guys. But I want to invite you to come on back down to me. Come on back down to the old river. You can wash yourself physically, spiritually, but most importantly, and maybe you forgot about this, you can throw curse tablets at me. Or bury them on banks. You know, say you want something really bad to happen to Kyle Rittenhouse. Like maybe you, as I've seen some of you say, you hope he. Well, if you put that on Twitter, you'll probably get banned. The tweet will get deleted, and you might get arrested. Not a very effective curse. But if you go outside, you know, maybe bring some friends with you, and you all get together and talk about the ways you want to curse Kyle Rittenhouse, the judge, Alex Jones, Marcia Taylor Greene, Ted Cruz, Ann Taylor. Maybe Ann Taylor's wronged you. I don't know. Maybe something happened in that loft. I don't know. But you put it on a tablet. Again, toss it in me, buried in the banks. Maybe you can go to a stone circle. You know, if you don't have one, you get some friends together. Erect a stone circle. Talk about the awful folks you want to curse and what you can do about it. I guess what I'm really saying is organize.
Yes.
Hanging moon and fog, mists will lead where you belong. Get together and curse, down, down, down by the river. See you soon. Always nice to hear from the river. Yeah.
It's been great. I mean, I miss the curse tablet days. Quite frankly, I think Twitter should. I mean, now you think about it, almost every tweet that I've ever read could just be a curse tablet.
It's basically a curse tablet.
Yeah, I mean, you got to restrict your letters.
Right.
You got to have. There's form to it.
Right.
You have to say the right things to the right people. Put the right hashtags in
The
to make sure that
is
it
often
twins.
so-so.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just you throw it out there, and you don't really care about it. But if you get caught doing it, there are consequences.
Right. Well, but the thing is, you can't. The Secret Service won't show up at your door for a curse tablet. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
It's buried in the river, and your name isn't necessarily on it.
Yeah, if you do
can put
that,
it on
bad form. You shouldn't. Though.
Big mistake.
Yeah, because then if somebody messes up, that they can come get you. You don't want that.
No. Maybe we should do a little workshop on curse tablets next week.
We really should.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think we'll
do that for like the kids. We'll do that.
Yeah,
you know, if we ever go to the
do a
Ren
little
Fair,
arts
we'll
and
do let's actually do that. Actually, next time we're at the Ren Fair, let's do like a curse tablet.
That's
like
a really
how
good
to
idea.
do a curse tablet.
Very good idea.
Yes, we'll get a bunch of like really thin pounded lead, and everyone will get sick, and it'll be great.
Well, you're not gonna eat the lead.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
You could.
Yeah,
you could, and that is the voice of our guest, who's been waiting very patiently. Now, I think bursting to be on camera at this point. Please check out this is a gentleman that we met on Instagram, and that's rarely a good thing. But in this is one of the rare instances where actually it is awesome. And we're very excited to be talking to him. I'm going to show off some of his art and chat with him about what he makes. Please chat. Give a very warm WizWorld welcome to Skinner.
Hello. The human cursed tablet. Hey, you know what I was thinking?
Yes.
What?
Talking about that is like people in the village are like, I'm gonna dig through all the cursed tablets that you threw into the river so that we can cancel you in the village. Right?
You know what? I bet they probably did try to do that.
Yeah, they probably did.
I would say this to them. I'd be like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Bring it. I stand by all my curses.
Tiny skeleton.
There we go.
Hey, so can you guys see me? Is everything coming in all right?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks great, man.
Amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Yeah,
donning some God.
I love you guys. I saw your advertisement on Instagram, and then because I am kind of a connoisseur of weirdness and stuff and people, and like I'll spend a lot of time going through just random people's art, and then it leads me to another weird, and then you're just finding somebody doing their, earnest expression of their creativity and their heart somewhere, and then I just adore them from afar. And so like that's what happened with you guys, where I was like, oh, what's this? What is this devilry here? They've charmed me. They have taken my heart. But so I saw it and I was like, whoa, this is cool. So I know yeah, we kind of DM'd a little back and forth, but I was like, in my heart, I was thinking, I hope they ask me to be on their wizard show. And you're like, would you like to be on the wizard show? And I was like, cast a spell. No, so
Austin says hello from Sacramento. Chat is welcome. We love you. Hunter Epic Twitch Gaming says, dude, holy shit, it's Skinner. I love this guy.
Oh, excellent.
People are popping off. So they can
popping off about the cursed tablet of a man. That's me. No, yeah,
Goodbye, Rabbit Man.
I have few fans, but they're very powerful.
I don't think you have. No, I don't think you have few fans.
That's true at all.
No, but you know what? You know what you find when you express your sort of progressive love hippie kind of ideas about stuff, you find out that not all the fans are pure of heart.
No, they certainly are not.
No.
Sometimes when I post an image, and of course they are all real photographs of my actual life. Sometimes when they have Alex Jones in them, just because Alex Jones is in them, the absolute wrong people come into the comment section, and I got to start blocking.
Oh, so I'm not sure. My friend Matt Fury went to war legally.
You're friends with Matt Fury?
Yeah, you didn't see me in the documentary about Matt Fury's life?
I haven't actually watched the whole thing.
Okay, it's up. Well, you stopped right before the.
Well, you're not like a real super fan, then, are you, Amoenus? Huh?
No,
if you watched it, then you would have seen it.
I'm not a super fan of Matt Fury. I'm sorry.
You jumped out right before the awesome part where I like come and there's explosions and shit, and it's like Skinner's here now in the story.
He fucking skateboarded into that courtroom. It was sick.
No, but yeah. So, but Alex Jones is really fascinating because, and I hope this is okay if I'm just freestyling about this shit.
Please.
You guys. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So when I grew up, I was really fascinated by dark iconography and books and stuff. And I had friends that had older brothers that were these like weird dudes who were reading conspiracy books. They were reading To Behold a Pale Horse.
Oh man.
The book of Urantia, the like all this like occult shit, all this religious creepy bullshit. And so not like believing it, but more like they're just into it and they're like, oh, these people are weird. But also I watch the X-Files and smoke weed, so maybe. But, so I remember like I wrote a report in the 3rd grade about how I was like sort of hoping that we were going to evolve into Bigfoots. Because like everybody says that Bigfoot's evolved into people or something, but I was like, no, that's where we're going, dude. And
yeah,
like getting into all this conspiracy shit and all this supernatural stuff and all this like kind of magical thinking and weird stuff, but I never got really paranoid about it. I never I don't know what happened, but like watching normies raw dog conspiracy theories and completely lose their mind, because it's basically like when somebody smokes like really powerful weed and they've never smoked regular weed before, and they're like, oh my God, fucking dude, JFK's coming back.
Right, yeah. JFK Jr. is using like, Eddie Murphy technology to hide his face. Like, okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like watching fan fiction to people who are completely unhappy with their life at the dead end of Western civilization, but don't want to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
And don't want to take responsibility for like what it all means. And that, you know, honestly, this really does feel like an excess. We're at the crux of information, understanding science, AI, anticipation for climate change, for disaster, all this shit. But then you also have this contingency of people who are connected to superstition so deeply that it's inhibiting us from actually adapting to what's coming and that we're a part of. So it's like, it's really weird because I grew up completely, like my great aunt was one of those weird Sedona, Arizona hippies that, yeah. And she would send me, dude, she sent me a map when I was about 12 years old of what America is going to look like once California falls into the ocean.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like so I'm going to be dead, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm going to die, like, you know, and but in my mind I was always like, yeah, I don't know, man, seems kind of fishy. Everything seems fishy to me, you know? And so you know, she'd be like, hey, there's reptilian hybrid aliens and shit and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. But I never in my life was like, oh, any of this is believable. Like none of this, like nothing. Like people go to church and they act like assholes. I'm like, oh, okay. So everything you believe in, nothing, like nothing. It all means nothing to me. Like all I know is that being a good person is the only thing that matters in the moment. And I feel like that's what people are forgetting about every single thing because their brains are overrun with information. And I'm just kind of ranting right now. Hope that's
no, it's great. No, it's compelling. I was like, I have to talk to this guy on camera. I knew it was going to be amazing.
By the way, I love your flowing locks and how you've kind of woven it into your.
You keep using them. I love it.
It's great.
Nakamas, thank you for gifting the dude. That's such a cool axe.
I know, dude. My wife bought it for me. She went to a weird like flea market, and some guy there just made this, and then look, this is a saw blade he cut, and then he put this inside of a broom handle, and she's all, oh, I saw that, and I knew you had to have it. So this is a one of a kind. Anyways, sorry.
It is wild how there's some weapons that, because like, well, that's from the 14th century. We don't need laws about that. You can just make axes, bows. That's all. You can just kind of. It's a real Wild West for certain weapons.
My friend told me he bought an insane heavy crossbow online, and he's all, "Oh, I don't use it. It's too scary for me." He's all, "You want it?"
Well, you can get full custom plate built for yourself.
Yes.
Like you can just get full armor.
Summersbane is wearing armor. He has some on.
Yeah, this is
a bit of it on. It's real armor. It can take a hit. Now, I do want to, before we get back into expanding everyone's consciousnesses, I do want to actually show some of your art. Now, this first piece you sent me is a Reaper riding a cat.
Yeah, and then there's also the bones of a dead cop, which is the fastest arm of the state.
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
And if you don't believe it, fuck you, motherfucker.
Hell yeah. All right. Fuck yeah.
Hunter,
you know what's so weird to me? I know we got to move on, but you know what's so weird to me is people who are like pro Second Amendment and are like completely insane about guns and gun culture are like, we need them to fight the government. It's tyrannical. And you're like, all right, cool. What does that look like? The cops, motherfucker. And they're like, Blue Lives Matter. And it's like, oh, but do Blue Lives Matter because it's a totally
who do they work for?
Overfunded socialist organization, you fucking nitwits. They're like, what? And you're like, yeah, dude, it's socialism, brother.
That's how they get you. You think that they're saving your life, but they're just socializing you.
Socializing.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, sorry, guys.
No. We don't look. This is our show. We can go. We could be here as long as we all want to. This next piece is it looks like it's on paper. It's physical. It's like a river of monstrous flesh.
Indeed, that was the story of my memoirs. A river of monsters flesh. Actually, it was called Scared, Stoned, All Alone. The Skinner story. Oh. I'm in Trader Joe's. Please come get me, dude.
Was there a time you got too high and went to Trader Joe's?
I'm so high right now. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, that's great. It's funny because it's like that like river of flesh is basically like, it really reminds me a lot of some of the cosmic horrors you get to when you get into like the 5th and 4th levels. A lot of cosmic horror,
and you know, when I first saw your art, I was very reminded of like early EC comics. I felt like it had a very similar look to it, but with a way cooler like cosmic vibe to it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm in the weird cosmic horror part of the universe, but I'm also
which is great.
Deeply influenced by the artists who are connected to the EC comic stuff, or like horror illustration. It's part of the like lineage of great illustrators: Bernie Wrightson, Mike Kaluta, Barry Windsor Smith, Jeffrey Catherine Jones, stuff like that. Frank Frazetta, shit like that.
I was gonna say, is that a Frazetta on the wall behind you there?
It's a bootleg Frazetta from a thrift store.
Nice.
Yeah, can you see? You can see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thrift store Axe, thrift store Frazetta.
No, but you know what? I was being interviewed by this this guy John B. Cook, who is an editor of comics. He's sort of a comics historian, and he goes, we were having a Zoom meeting with him, and I was with some other random people, but he goes, "Is that an original Frazetta behind you?" And I'm like, "You think I would have a $3 million painting like in my fucking studio? Right? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, you're talking. I'm a fucking garbage pail kid, dude. I don't know."
That's also kind of a knock on him. Like, shouldn't the comic historian be able to recognize an actual original Frazetta?
Yeah, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? What is it? F for fake? I don't know if you guys are
Skinner rules.
With that Orson Welles film.
Of course, F is for fake, but everything is fake in Hollywood. It's all illusion and magic.
Everything is fake, except for the chroma adrenaline deduction.
Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is real.
It's adrenochrome. The river of adrenochrome, right down Lancashire. Fucking.
Of all the streets, it's on Lancashire.
Of all the streets,
Adrenochrome is on Lancashire.
Grows up in the know. That's good real estate up there.
Now, this is kind of an army of cosmic lords marching somewhere.
That painting is called Night Parade.
Night Parade. Ooh. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe I'll release it as a print. I have it. I haven't. You know, I feel very self-conscious about trying to sell so much shit. It's like it just feels very counterintuitive to me, who's at 43 years old, just finally discovered my real calling, and my rhythm is just this like very deep like practice of illustration and trying to get better. And it's like, oh wait, now I have to go harass strangers for money or whatever, you know. And right. So, but
it's cool. So now, can you talk
try to make it worth their time
a bit about your process? I know some artists don't like to dive into that, but I'm wondering if you could indulge me.
Yeah, whatever you want to know.
I mean, so now, do you do any pieces that are all digital? Do you work in paper, like ink it first and then scan it in? Like, what's the actual process of you from a blank canvas to a finished piece?
Well, it kind of depends. When I'm doing, maybe if I'm doing a painting I just really want to do, or an illustration I really want to do, I will sometimes sketch out the concept digitally. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes what I'll do is I will work the composition so that I project the image from my computer, iPad, onto the canvas, and then I will, with a projector.
Oh.
And then I will outline with pencil the illustration I did, and then I will paint into it or airbrush into it or whatever. Sometimes I do only digital stuff. Like it kind of depends on the nature and like the breadth and depth of the like, say the job that somebody has for me. Like I just did a, you know, I don't know, some stuff, like some like work for hire. Oh yeah. I did some stuff for this vape pen company my friend did, Timeless, that'll come out later. And I did all, and I was like, okay, what's the budget? And then in my mind, I could understand that like the amount of money would equal this amount of labor, this amount of time. So then I would do it digitally. But when I want to do something, say, I don't know if you saw that film Psycho Gorman.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I did the cover to the comic that's coming out, and I was like, okay, the amount of money I wasn't asking as much money as I really wanted, what I would ask for when I'm doing a commission job. But what I did was I made a physical piece. So I have this like beautiful, beautiful illustration that I could sell later for, or whenever for a
Right.
bunch of money. So
That makes
I
sense.
kind of try to find ways of justifying my work for projects that I really respect and love. And then anything else, if I'm like, I don't really like this, company, give me $20,000 or what, like some unreasonable
Sure.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you quote it out. You just quote them
like,
out of the thing. You just say, fuck it.
Then if they go, oh, that's too much, then I go, all right, cool. Now I could just draw my Balrog or whatever. And then, and if they go, okay, we'll pay you that, and then I go, all right, cool. Now my wife will be like happy that I'm like not like just like in bed all day. Which I love to do, but she doesn't, she doesn't really care, but it's like
she worries about you. She just cares.
So you want to show the people in your life that you're participating in stuff that like, it's like, we're all collectively engaged in this reality. And like, we all know there's a material reality that we have to obey. But I just feel like, I don't know. It's like at some point in your life, you have to have boundaries about what it is that you actually feel like you're best at. Right. And what is it about, your life as you get older? I mean, like when I was 25, I wasn't really tripping on like, any of this shit. You know what I mean? It's like when you get older, you're like, dude, I just want to do cool, amazing shit and try to build momentum in that way. I don't want to get mired in the bullshit of others. You know that, have you ever heard that saying, follow your dreams or someone will pay you to follow theirs?
Whoa.
You ever heard that one?
No. I haven't heard it, but I have lived it all too often.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then you just basically summed up a huge portion of my life. So
I told it to my assistant and he quit immediately. And you know what I said? Go, little baby bird, fly free, fly, you motherfucker. But also help me later. If I need help. I don't know what's going on.
Could you at least do a 2 weeks notice, please?
Yeah, come on.
Okay,
yeah.
go. I mean, I'm still recommend you, but
yeah. Hold off your dream for just 2 weeks while I find a new non-dreamer to come in.
Yeah. Let me find somebody whose dream is mine.
Whoa.
This is a crawling, undead, decaying serpent of your mind.
Pretty cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. Something cool like that, man. Yeah, I see what you're saying, where it's like, oh, this guy is clearly influenced by the horror art from the past, but there's like some kind of weird, dreadful expansion on that I guess kind of melds the. Yeah, it's like it's sort of like
it's like EC Comics plus They Live plus D&D. I feel like is the the like trio, the like triumvirate that describes Skinner art. If I had to boil it down.
I had to Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. And by no means am I talking shit right now, but they this my friends that run this company kind of like get these gigs from different. I did like this giant Mortal Kombat mural, and it was totally hilarious. I was like, I wanted to meet the people who were at the Mortal Kombat event. I was like, I just want to see. I do anthropological studies, my friends, and but then they were like, hey, do you want to do a Dungeons and Dragons print, for this video game that's coming out? And I was like, oh god, dude, yes I do, fuck yes, and I can't wait. I'm like looking through my old monster manuals, and I'm ready to embark upon this epic like illustration thing. And they're like, all right, here's the monster. And it was some weird like elephant with a helmet or something, and I was like, what the fuck is this, man?
What?
I've never seen no elephant with a helmet like this. And they're like,
elephant?
Oh, it's for the video game. Yeah, but I was like, what about the classic troll? What about
a troll is cool.
Fucking like a regenerating troll. Like I've always thought how fucking scary trolls are in an encounter. Yeah. Like you like chop them, burn them, and then they just like start to regenerate back in front of you as you're. That's fucking horrifying.
Well, yes, we fought them. It was terrifying.
I know. They're stinky. They're very stinky.
I did see that you have a Beholder flag though.
Oh yeah, I sell my artwork on my website. By the way, this is me like shilling. And,
no, I've been dropping a link in there quietly.
Oh, thank you, friends. Yeah, there's a beholder. I mean, the beholder is. I don't know if you guys are actually familiar with the really, really old Dungeons and Dragons like pamphlets that came out before everything. Okay, so you are. So the very first beholder illustration ever is the most hilarious thing.
It is so silly looking.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Not scary
and like
at all.
no, but the illustrations in Monster Manual 1 are so funny because there's this guy, I think David C. Sutherland or Donald C. Sutherland III, basically the illustrator that was not as good as the other guy.
Thank you for the raid, Legio Necrus. I hope you had a good stream. Sorry, it's gonna go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. Sorry, I'm just like rambling now.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's funny because you have this like one illustrator who's doing these beautiful kind of epic narrative small illustrations, and then you have the other guy who's drawing the awkward thing that looks like a teenager drew it.
Okay, well, one of them was just a teenager that was like interested, and so she like sent in art. She didn't know anything, but they're like, yeah, we can buy your art. No one else is sending in pictures.
Wait, in the pamphlets?
Yeah. So that there's a fantastic book. It was put out a couple years ago, but it's like the 35 years of D&D, but it's an art book, including the backstory of like who bought what, and like one of the artists was just a like untrained lady who was into drawing fancy stuff, so they like bought some of her stuff, and I believe she drew the witch. The famous like kind of sexy witch lady. I'm pretty sure that was one of hers.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I haven't read. I mean, my occult library is vast.
Yeah, sometimes you showed us your shelf earlier, and it looked like there were hundreds of books on there.
Yes, friends. I forget many spells, but I have the book somewhere. Yeah, so the funny thing is that like I remember one night I couldn't sleep and I had so much anxiety and I was just up and I started Wikipediaing all the artists from the early Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, and there's like some really tragic stories. Like it's really fucked up. Like some of the artists are like got like wives left them and then got cancer and then died poor and all this stuff, and then like got sick of Dungeons and Dragons so much that he became a taxi cab driver. and then what's so funny is that there was a newspaper article about taxi cab drivers, and there was a photograph published of Donald A. Trampier or David Trampier, I think. The best artist in Monster Manual #1, and people started harassing the newspaper and trying to find him and be like, yo. And like all these Dungeons and Dragons nerds were trying to pursue him and get into his life and stuff, and he's like, no, leave me alone, that's over. And then he's like, get away from me, everybody, get away. And then he left and went to a whole nother city so that nobody could find him to be a
damn.
I know. I was like, dude, what? I really want to know what happened.
There's a lot of strange stories, and it honestly, it doesn't make sense that now D&D is the most famous thing. Like it has been bizarre. It has been bizarre to see D&D become a mainstream popular thing.
Is taking over where Dungeons and Dragons left off. It's like, everybody, but they're like, oh wait, this is actually just a stupid game where nerds use their brains, and then they're like, no, it's hella evil. But what's funny is that
I'm the maze controller.
Imagine like you are a 35-year-old parent of a kid who is sort of socially awkward at school, doesn't have really many friends or whatever, and then brings home these weird Dungeons and Dragons books and starts drawing like demons and all this shit. And then you walk into his room and he's like throwing dice and writing down numbers and stuff. They're probably like, what's going on with my little baby Francis? He's going
I have to go into the basement with these books and my friends. And they all show up and they're like wearing like hoods and stuff like, hey, He's like, oh,
I think
yeah.
there's one of those mothers in the chat right now, perhaps. Austin says, great guest, great stream. If any of y'all ever have the misfortune of being in Sacramento, go check out Skinner's mural at Big Brother Comics. You got a Sacramento fan. H-Dub,
oh yeah,
good to see you.
Yeah, Big Brother Comics. I did actually. My amazing partner Christy, my wife, she left town to go stay in Chiapas, Mexico. For a little while, for a couple of weeks. And while she was gone, I painted a 100-foot-long Dungeons and Dragons mural inside. And it was all the old monsters from the first manual and the cover. I did the castle. I did the, I did the carrion crawler.
Amazing.
And the
carrion crawler.
Yeah, and the dragon and shit. And because I was like, well, I need something to do, something positive, you know. And I would paint all night long, and it was like an entire comic book shop full of dudes doing hero clicks until 4 a.m. and I was like, I don't know what's going on with these guys, but I'm just gonna keep painting this manticore. But
yeah.
So I painted this thing, and then he had to move, but I had done this Marvel Zombies mural for him that was kind of smaller that he was able to take with him to the new shop, and then they destroyed the building with the Dungeons and Dragons thing. So, I know, and like nobody really got to see it, man. But so in Sacramento, it's funny, you go in and it's like there's this really kind of crappy mural of the Marvel Zombies. I did it, and I'm just like every time people go, dude, who did this mural? I'm like, please don't tell them it's me, man. It's bad.
That is wild that you, much like a Renaissance master, actually have a much larger mural that's been lost and is only known from like records.
Yeah, there was some general contractor who's like, "This is fucking sick, man."
Yeah. Oh, no, it's just fucking crazy as they burn it, smashing it up. Frank in the chat. Frank in the chat is a painter for I think for almost all of his life. He wants to know if the mural was oil or acrylic.
Oh, it was acrylic. Yeah, I've only done one oil painting, which is the cover to my horror anthology comic, Skin Crawl Magazine. That's the one that just came out, right? Yes, I can't. I have the actual painting here, but here's the comic itself. You could probably see it.
Yeah, we could see it.
So I want to make it look like a really kind of a crappy, like if you were at a thrift store or a flea market and somebody had a box of old horror magazines or something, and you'd see it and you'd be like, oh, that's weird. What's this shit? You know? So that was kind of the vibe I was going for, but I've only done.
I once actually did go to an antique store, and they had a big desk, and I was never a child, but it was earlier in my history. I'm a 6,000-year-old wizard. I've never been a kid. But I was in there, and I opened a drawer, and inside were vintage digest-style DC comics, which you, like, never see. But it was, like, one of the first issues of JSA, but in the, like, Archie's Digest format, not the full issue format. So,
like, what is this?
That does actually happen. What was what?
Yeah, I hate DC comics. I don't like little digests either. How about that?
Wow. Oh.
I'm finally disagreeing with the guest. We found something to part ways on. This is where it gets heated up, man. Frank has a follow-up question. He wants to know if you've tried water-soluble oils.
No, but I would love to. I really, that would be awesome because they dry faster, I think.
There we go.
Frank, thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, Frank is great. If there are any other questions, please put them in the chat now, because I think we're going to wrap up pretty soon. We don't want to keep everyone too much later. That's such a cool. And also, you make stuff like you make like toys and miniatures and stuff as well. Is that right?
Yeah. Let me show you one second. Here's a figure that I made that it's a little monster man
with a cool little street. He's a street tough monster man.
He's a street fighting freak. So I did this. So Skin Crawl Magazine is like my horror comic, but I wrote this other story during the pandemic that was it's sort of a metaphor or analogy for depression and mental health problems, which I've had like most of my life. I got on Prozac during the pandemic and started really going. Yeah, it felt, I feel better. And also I got into all this like trauma therapy and stuff. So I started, but as a part of my practice of trying to have a catharsis through my feelings or understanding myself, I did different comics and wrote different stories, and I wrote this one about this creature in this dungeon, and he has to come out of the dungeon, but he's like in the dungeon and reflecting on all this stuff, and then comes out at the very end, and the world is more insane than the actual dungeon, where he kind of had the chrysalis of self, like understanding himself and processing trauma, and actually understanding that in a lot of ways the mind is it's a terrible master, but an amazing, what is that saying by servant? It's a great servant, but it's a terrible master. And so it's sort of like about understanding the way in which we sort of put ourselves through the shitty reality that we do, and understanding the way that our mind is working, and emerging and ascending from the darkness is sort of the idea of this comic story. And then I talked to my friend who makes toys, and I said, let me make and this is the character.
Oh, that's the guy. Oh.
Yeah, so this is the character, and so he basically like is in the dungeon, and then somebody comes down to get him, and then they have this conversation on the way up, and it's really it's sort of autobiographical or something, but it was cool. So anyways, I do these toys, I do masks, I do monster masks with this company called Rock Bottom Novelties. Here's a zombie. Can you see it?
Look at that thing.
So these are all based on illustrations and paintings that I've done that these guys do. Here's another one. This is the Super Space Phantom. Wait, is it a Phantom? What the fuck is this thing?
Oh yeah.
Phantom or Wraith?
There's too many things. Yeah, Wraith. It's a space Wraith.
There we go.
But yeah, so I'm just doing all this stuff, and I have my movies and my like little films I'm doing. Oh, my stop motion horror film that I'm working on.
Yes.
Shrine of Abominations is going really, really good.
Awesome.
We're doing a rough edit of about 30 minutes of film that we've been working on for 3 years, building sets, making puppets. It's going to be insane. I saw like a minute and a half. I'll send it to you so you can see it. I saw a minute and a half of this rough edit of animation, and there's nothing like it. It is like if Ray Harryhausen, cosmic horror, Jack Kirby mixed up, and the story is bizarre. There's no dialogue. It's just a sequential nightmare, and I'm really excited about it.
That sounds
so yeah,
cool.
That's it.
I do have one final question from the chat. This may be too personal. Feel free to say you don't want to answer. But Frank wanted to know if it was harder to create on meds, or it actually helped you create stuff.
Oh, not at all. I feel like, the thing is that doing art for me, I don't know if this is for anybody else, but was like a survival mechanism. It was really about finding a moment of peace in a world that's very chaotic when I was young. And it kind of works as that as well now in this sort of macrocosmic way. I'm just sort of like trying to ignore that, everything is terrible. Death is around us, always waiting. Everything is a nightmare, but it's like, also, that's only a section of reality. Another reality is that things are cool and good right now where I'm at illustrating, and that like I can eat a delicious, healthy sandwich or something. It's like just getting down into the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And only doing, committing energy to justice when there's time, or like when it works. But like sitting around stressing out about the entropy of the universe isn't really making anything better. So anyway, I felt like all of a sudden I had serotonin in my body, and so I was even more inspired to do shit from this place of excitement and interest to see what would reveal itself, instead of like, I am really misanthropic and nihilistic and I just want to get away and I don't want to think about anything. Yeah. So instead of it being from that perspective, I'm kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm actually living this weird little dream, you know? This is cool.
That is fantastic.
Cool. Yeah.
Skinner, it's been so great to interview you. Had to be one of the coolest interviews we've had on the show ever, I think. Summersbane, do you have any final questions?
Nah, man, that is just I honestly fucking love it.
Took us all around the universe, man. I love it.
Fucking love it, man.
Make sure you check out Skinner's stuff. Maybe pick up Skin Crawl, his first totally self-made horror anthology, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I hope we get to talk to you again sometime.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be watching your stuff. And again, I'm very flattered that you like the stuff that we do on our little Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'll be back literally anytime you want.
Fuck yeah.
We will for sure have you back.
Yes.
Do you, Skinner, have any final thoughts, words of wisdom, or plugs for the audience?
That you protect your own energy, because nobody is entitled to your time. You get to decide how much of yourself that you offer to the world, and that you can only really be your best if you feel like you're coming from a place of groundedness and self-love. So if you're coming at the world with a empty cup, the result's not going to be positive. So do what you got to do to take care of yourself and find love and feel love, and encourage others that reciprocate that kind of thing. And then just go easy, man.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Skinner, thank you. And thank you for spending so much of your time and energy with us. This has been a really wonderful interview. Capo to a wonderful episode. We're going to send you back into the void and do our good nights. Thank you, chat. Please give a big round of applause. Toss the emotes, buy the merch for Skinner, the one and only. Amazing.
Wow. Incredible.
What a great episode. I feel so much better now at the end of this show than I did this morning, certainly. Summersbane, how are you doing? I just want to check in.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Chat, I hope you're all good too. We'll be back next week with a Black Friday episode. Summersbane, are you going to be around for that one? Oh, what? What's this? What? Bellcaster?
Hello, my powerful primate. What?
I can truly say I did not know this was going to happen. Bellcaster, how are you?
Magick! Hello! I am currently on PTO right now from the 5th layer of hell. I'm fresh off of 2 bumps and listening to Mariah Carey's fucking Christmas album on repeat for the last 5 hours because I made so much in royalties. That's how you do it. But I wanted to take this minute,
please,
as a Thanksgiving special to, really tell you that I'm so thankful for cultivating this friendship that we've had for so long. Psych! I'm going to thank Black Friday, because nothing says thank you more than standing in line for shit you don't need. Papa needs a new friend, Daddy. Gold capitalism.
For those that don't know, this is Bellcaster, finance demon, and yes, AEW should sign this demon. What an incredible wrestling moment. Just obliterating that laugh, Mike. Love it. Bellcaster, it's so nice to see you.
Man, it's so good to be here. I'm on my PTO visiting Summersbane. We're about to hit the strip club and go pay off some demon cell phone bills. We're gonna do it real big, baby, like the 80s.
Well, and I don't want to keep you. Although I do have to ask, what is different about a demon strip club?
4 titties instead of 2.
Oh, four titties. Okay.
Make it fun, baby.
Thank you, Belgasar. If you don't have any more final thoughts, I'm gonna roll the credits, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, Belgasar. Thanks to everyone who's watching. Thanks for those hype trains earlier. Chat, you've been amazing. I'm gonna put this interview up, an episode up on YouTube. Please share with your friends, especially if they're also Skinner fans. Let's make sure they can all see it. That was a wonderful interview, wonderful show. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.